So, hello, Gaby. Thanks for having us, for giving us your time to have a conversation about the beautiful project that you have building. But we want to know from your own words, where does this start? What was the inspiration to create Huerto Urbano?
Okay. Well, thank you, Alejandro and Andrea, for having interest in our project. It's actually very gratifying when we reach out to people or we see that the project is reaching out and connecting to more and more people because we consider that through this project we create awareness. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time and considering our project for your project. So thank you. Huerto Urbano started without the idea of it becoming a project. It started out more of a necessity that Mariana and I had many years ago. Mariana is my partner that you know, and she wasn't able to be present at this interview. But we had an interest in having access to responsible food. And what I mean by responsible food is ¿cómo se dice? Involves a lot of aspects. One of them is the social impact in which the food that we consume is produced, and the other one is the environment, the impact on the environment, and of course, the impact on our health. So Mariana and I had a very similar profile in terms of what we were looking for, and we couldn't find, it was, very, very little product that we could locally find in Monterrey. So what we did is we started growing. We decided to embark on this adventure of, seeing if it was possible to be responsible of growing our own food. And that led us to a lot of experimentation. We don't have a background related to agriculture. None of us do. So it took us a little while to understand the do's and the don'ts. Later on, as we started evolving on or creating a little bit more of an expertise, we started producing more food that we could consume. And we started giving it away to friends, to neighbors, and that sparked an interest in people that started eating our vegetables or our produce. And we realized that there was potential there. So we decided, since we became very passionate about our work, even though it was just for our families, we thought, why not grow it and invite several families to be part of this project. And Mariana and I at the beginning said, Mariana and I can actually do all of the physical work and all of the maintenance of the project. And we had other families support us economically. And then it was kind of an exchange idea. And to make the story very short, the project grew into, it's about 70 families right now that eat from the project, that eat from Huerto Urbano. And we had this waiting list of about 35 people, waiting to have access to our food. And that's when we realized that there was something else that we could do. And it was the project is not only growing vegetables, but also teaching people how to do it at home. So we decided to do for other people what we needed when we started the project. So that's when the project started growing, and the term is growing. And we started, sorry about the dogs. If we need to cut, just let me know.
Don't
So we started helping people with installing huertos, vegetable beds, raised vegetable bed in their homes, and we started giving courses, and we started producing seeds. So the project took off. I think it because there's a lot of interest in people, especially right now, in this kind of activities that have a profound positive impact on the environment and on our health.
Okay. Yeah. Something very good that the last time we saw us in person is a quote from you that you were very concerned of what was happening around you with the things they were eating, the people, your family in that. And so you were very committed to start this project to be the more sustainable as it can be. So yeah, you lay the foundation to have a very sustainable project, building and giving too much to the society, to the environment, to the people that work for you. So like you're telling us, Huerto Urbano has come a long way to be what is now, and with what you have involved as a more mature business, and rich with knowledge to keep growing. So within this process of learning, you come with the idea of providing a more innovative personalized service, like you were saying, to sell to the people, to replicate this kind of bed seats, but in their homes. More about this service. How did you thought about it? Why do you want to replicate this? So what is your purpose in this innovation?
Well, I think, no, I think that, I mean, if we talk about the future, Alejandro, and we consider, or we take into consideration the methods that are involved in producing what we're eating, it's not sustainable. You know, we're gonna eat up the planet, and we're gonna end up, you know, by consuming the way that we're consuming and eating the way that we're eating, at the end, in a few years, we're gonna have serious problems. So I think that that is one of the most important reasons why Huerto Urbano exists. Why replicate it? Because it's a sustainable system, because consuming local has a social impact, has an environmental impact. It creates consciousness from in people's way of connecting to what they're eating, and
it's kind of a multiplying factor. It's kind of a multiplying factor for the whole society that we live in. So yeah. Yeah.
Yes, but I do consider it, and I think that was one of, I've mentioned to you before that one of the challenges that Mariana and I had, and I'm speaking on a personal level also, we wanted to prove that it could be done. You know, that we don't need a supermarket, and I'm not saying that supermarkets are bad. Yeah, I buy some of my things at supermarkets, but that there is a different way of connecting and supporting sustainable agriculture.
Okay. So, but given more thoughts about the service, about the bid sets, how did this work? How does it work? The people come to you and ask you for your advice to the service. What is the service in that?
Yeah, Alejandro, it took us a while for Mariana and I to figure it out, because since we didn't start the project thinking that it was going to be a business, it took us a while and we don't have, Mariana and I previously worked at very, very different things, and we didn't have the experience to start a business. So I can say that the services that we offer right now have developed in a very organic manner. Observation has been a key role in terms of understanding what the community needs and how it needs it, and also what we can do to accommodate the needs and the work that we're doing. So one of the things that we do to sustain economically the project is that we started a project that it's very common in the States and also in Canada and also in Europe, which is called CSA. And what we do is we provide a weekly basket of vegetables. And you have to subscribe monthly to have access to that service. And what that does is it gives us a stable income for us to ¿cómo se dice fondear? To fund the basic needs of the project. And we've gotten to a point. What was that?
Yeah, to sustain the farm, to sustain the activities,
exactly.
the day-to-day. Okay.
Exactly, to cover salaries, to cover the cost of water, to cover the cost of seeds if we're going to be purchasing seeds. And that's the pillar of the project. The other area that I was talking to you about earlier is that we noticed that if we couldn't grow, because we don't have lots of land, you know, we are limited in terms of the quantity that we can produce. And that's how we started the next stage of the business, which is helping people to grow their own vegetables at home. And that has proven also very efficient in terms of the business, because it gives us this extra income that we can actually bring back to the project, because Mariana and I don't have a salary. That's important for you to know. This is all voluntary work. And so everything goes back to the project, and that way we can start investing in more efficient ways of working. The production of seeds has also been very interesting, because it also provides a high income for the project, but also we're working on adapting the seeds to the area. So that way the people that have access to these kinds of seeds, since they have been growing and we have been reproducing them in this specific area, they're more prone to grow and develop in a very efficient way. I don't know if I answered your question, Alex.
It's very good, because you're engaging more people to do what you do in the farm, so you can replicate in a small scale in your house the good to the environment, to the society, to have your own food, but make it in your house. Yeah, you can replicate it in a small environment, but yeah, you can replicate, and like was I saying before, you can make it a multiplying factor for the environment, for the society. So yeah, you're sharing something very good. Yeah.
There's an interesting aspect of the impact that a collective vegetable garden has compared to if you start one at home. I think that one of the things that Mariana and I have always dedicated a lot of time and attention is the quality and of the working environment that our people have. I told you this on our first conversation, is that we believe, especially in Mexico, the work of the farmer is not valued. And like I told you before, we depend on them 3 times a day. You know, if it wasn't for their dedication and hard work and their knowledge, we wouldn't have access to food, basically. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to elevate and to raise the value that we have, that the people that work in the farm have, you know, for themselves, and the way that our customers see them. So Mariana and I try to really step aside from and try to link our customers to the people that work in Huerto Urbano, so they can have a relationship with the people that grow their food, which is it's all of the things that can be, it's not the word born, but all of the positive things or outcomes that this can have. It's truly amazing. The value that the people have for Cesar and Eve, you know, the customers come in and they talk to them by their name, and Cesar and Eve, our employees, know our customers by name, and they even connect via WhatsApp, and they do the orders, and Mariana and I we're not even involved in this. And also I think that, and I've seen this positive also side effect, is that the customers that have been with us, and also the new ones, but the ones that they stay, in a way, I think they feel they're proud that their city has a project like this, and that they're proud to support a project that has such a positive impact on the environment, on a personal level, on your health. And I do feel that the value that they have in terms of our space, our living space, changes completely when you have a project that has, and it could be any topic, you know, as long as it has true values and a sustainable practice. I do believe that there's a positive impact in the society. People feel connected to it. People feel that it's their space. And what we try to do, Mariana and I, is we always tell them, this is your home. You know, this is an open space. You can come and spend the day. You can come as a volunteer. You can come and pick your own vegetables. You know, or visit.
Yeah, I think that not only the impact you are causing on the environment by doing this organic food, but also what you mentioned is true. You are making an impact on these people's life, on the farmers' life, not only on the society,
Mm-hmm.
but you are increasing the quality of their life, because you mentioned to us before, they come from another town where they are not truly appreciated, or at least the salary they receive is not as high as you can provide at least. And this is pretty nice, because you are increasing their quality of life and providing them sustainable practices, because probably where they were working before, they didn't know about this sustainability thing, right, going on. So I think for sure the impact you are causing not only on the environment but on the society is pretty important, and I really enjoy that.
We do too. And it's interesting to see that the people that started working in our project are still there. We haven't lost a single employee. So I think that says a lot, that they're comfortable, that they're happy, and that they're evolving. And Mariana and I, what we try to do is give them each time more responsibilities, because we want, and this is truly for my heart, if, you know, the project for some reason ended, I do believe that they have the skills to reproduce this even in their hometowns, you know, with a different angle, but it's definitely, I think, the things that they've learned have given them, or gives them the opportunity to continue, if not working in Huerto Urbano, but have other possibilities of growing later on if they wish to take another project.
Yeah, I think that's your biggest legacy, that what you have taught to them, and not only to them, but to all of your customers. And I think it's really important nowadays that people is losing or it's not into this environment stuff. They don't know about these practices, or they think they cannot do it. But as you mentioned to us, it's pretty easy, but you need to take care of that. It's not going to take care by itself. So we really enjoy your project, Gaby, and Mariana as well. I think it's pretty beneficial. We should have more of this on the city. I think it's a crazy thing that we have it on the middle of the city, and probably most of the people don't know that. You can have it. It's just a matter of having the land, and it doesn't need to be a big space. What you mentioned, you can, as long as your soil is pretty nutritious, you can create a lot of good things from there. So I think we really enjoy your project. That's why we wanted to let people on the world know about it. It's pretty amazing, for sure. Pretty amazing.
Thank you. We've tried to incorporate as much as we can aspects in the project that make it sustainable. And I know we've used that word a lot, and I'm going to try to explain really fast, is that we wanted to prove that you could start a project without having a lot of economical what's the word, budget, or without having a large budget, and this, the way that we have done it is that we've introduced several key aspects into the work that we do. One of them is the chickens. The chickens is one of the friendliest animals that you can introduce into a city project. And what they do is that chickens consume all of our leftovers. And also what we're doing is that we're opening up the space for restaurants and for families to leave their leftovers, either for compost or for the chickens. And then what the chickens do in return is that they provide all of their, what's the word in English? Droppings, I think that's the term. What we do is we collect them once a month and we put them in our compost. We have different kinds of compost at Huerto Urbano, and the compost, the reasons why we have compost or we do composting is that because we wanted to produce our own soil and we wanted to produce our own fertilizers. We really want a project that depends very, very little from external aspects. So the compost is aided by the chickens, and then we return it to the ground. And then another aspect that we had to introduce, because we were noticing that at the beginning we had a very low production of vegetables, and we noticed that we started reading and doing research, and we started going into not fertilization, ¿cómo se dice? I forgot the word in it. Pollination, yes.
Pollination.
So we started going into pollination, and we realized that we hadn't seen a bee in about a year in our vegetable garden. So we introduced bees, and we also introduced homes for local bees so that we could provide a healthy environment for them to live in our space. And also, it's like a symbiotic relationship. We provide food for them and they pollinize. So we have different things like that working inside the project to make it completely independent. We want, in fact, the next stage that we're doing is producing our own seeds. We want to stop buying seeds. So it's a project that it's still growing. It's a project that has an immense potential. We just need to start producing and setting up the keys for it to evolve to a higher level.
Exactly, yeah. To replicate it, you're creating like an ecological cycle within the huerto and expanding it. So yeah, that's the very good true work that you have done with Mariana and your team. So yeah, like Andrea was saying, we are very proud to be researching in this project. We feel very proud also from our city that we have this. They have these practices. They have people with the heart and knowledge to become a reality. So yeah, we congratulate you and your team with an excellent project. We have been in there. We invite the people to enroll in your program and to be in your huerto. Yeah, it's beautiful. So yeah, thank you very much for your time, Gaby. And Mariana, we congratulate you again. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Gaby.
No, thank you, both of you.
Thank you.